Episode 6 of the podcast series. Today I have Shane Horan.
What's up, y'all?
High school friend of mine. We go a pretty long way back, right? I met you. Burner, yeah.
Crazy.
That's the first time I really met you.
Yeah, I transferred here. Well, I always lived in Massapequa my whole life.
Yeah.
But I went to Lockhart for 1 year.
Okay.
And then I started Burning. So, I didn't really... Middle school, I was still,
You're still pretty new
meeting
then.
everyone, you know what I mean?
Really? Where were you from beforehand?
I went to a Catholic school, Catholic elementary
Gotcha.
school.
Interesting. What,
St. Williams. It's in
Okay.
Seaford.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Wow.
It was like meeting everyone.
Yeah.
And then Burner, I was just trying to make friends and stuff.
Yeah, well, listen, Burner was it was like that for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you're in your elementary school, you have 100 kids, and then you go to Burner, and now there's 600 kids.
Yeah.
So it was like, whoa, who are all these people?
And it's no longer all right, you sit in one classroom, this is what you're doing for the day. Now it's everyone's going their own ways. It's
It's pretty chaotic.
you feel like you're on your own.
Yeah.
I remember we used to have to walk our schedule beforehand.
Yes.
That was great. So we all didn't get lost.
Yeah, and it was, it's a big school. Burner.
Yeah, Burner.
I would say Burner is as big as the high school.
It used to be a high school.
Right? Fun fact. Fun fact for the viewers.
Yeah.
Right, Burner, I think they're called the Burner Bisons.
Yep, Burner Bisons.
Yes,
in the gym, it had a Burner Bisons thing on the rafters. I'm not sure if it's still there, but I remember.
I remember that it was by the tech rooms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. But that was it was hectic, and especially when we were when you're in 7th grade and you're with the 8th graders. I mean, I'll say from my standpoint, I was.
Oh my.
Dude, I was. I think I got into middle school. I was because they would do the height and weight in our gym classes.
Dude, you remember how small I was too?
Oh, dude, it was crazy because I was. I'm gonna say I was 4'11", 86 pounds.
Yeah.
And then 8th grade, I had a little bit of growth spurt. Maybe I was 5'1", 5'2". Then I was a little heavy. I got to 110.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny because Shane, you're a pretty big guy, and me and Shane were the same size.
Yeah.
Shane was small back in the day. When you were in middle school, you were the same size as me.
I'm not sure if I was 5 foot.
You were small.
I was really, really small all throughout middle school, elementary school. I remember sports when we go for the team pictures.
Yeah.
I would be the second person in line when I was shortest to tallest.
Yeah. I was always in that front row.
Yeah.
But that was you really filled out, man. I have to say.
Honestly, you want to know what I think it was?
Hit me. Yeah.
Freshman year quarantine, I was probably about 5'4", maybe 100 pounds, soaking wet, 110.
Yeah.
And I just got this weird love for whole milk. So quarantine hit, and I would drink probably a gallon of whole milk a day.
Are you serious? A gallon?
Seriously, I would drink a gallon of whole milk a day.
Now, what made you do that?
It was a weird craving.
Okay.
I feel everyone in quarantine that I've talked to, everyone had kind of something they weirdly started liking in quarantine.
Really?
For me, that was milk and then peanut butter. I would toast a Thomas bagel.
Yeah.
Spread some peanut butter on it with a big glass of whole milk, and then after quarantine, I got out of quarantine. Went in about 5'4"-ish. No, I came out 5'10".
Yeah.
And then I just kept growing from there.
Yeah. How? What time span was that when you went from 5'4" to 5'10"?
So freshman year started quarantine around March.
Yep.
And then
that's when it happened.
And then I really grew the summer before our sophomore year. So
gotcha.
It was probably the span of 5 months, I'd say. That was I think that was my main growth spurt. But I was still skinny during that time.
Yeah,
so.
you weren't filled out yet, but you were
I was growing.
Yeah.
Which I was super excited for.
Yeah.
Because dude, being a short kid your whole life, you're like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna
Yeah,
happen?
right?
Please, please, please.
Are your parents tall?
So my dad's around like 6'1", 6'2".
Okay, so you had it in you.
Yeah, my mom wasn't short for a lady. She was around 5'7", I think.
Okay, so that's pretty solid. See me, I kind of knew it was gonna happen. You know, my dad's 5'6", my mom's 5 foot, so I knew I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be that tall, but see, you had it in you.
Yeah.
You know,
I was a little scared though.
Yeah,
'Cause my
my
sister was like, she's like 5'3" maybe right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So
and she's
went.
older. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
You just your sister that you just have one? Okay.
Yeah, I just have one older sister.
Gotcha. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah. Interesting. Another thing, right? So you were a lacrosse player,
Yeah.
right? Did you start football when you were younger, or?
Yeah. Football obviously plays like a huge part in my life.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
So when did the love for the game begin?
Love the game began like I think the youngest I could get in. I was always young for my grade. Like
Yeah.
I graduated 17. I'm 18 right now.
Really?
I'm young.
Interesting.
So I started playing football around like 4 or 5. I forgot when the first year was.
Yeah.
But I played youth. I played Mustangs, and then when I went to Catholic school, a bunch of my friends played for Seaford.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, like, you know, I'll play with you guys. So
Yeah.
played at Seaford once again. So I was never the biggest guy. I was always pretty short.
Yeah.
Definitely not the most athletic at that age.
Okay.
Pretty slow, pretty weak.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like, I just had a knack for like being around football and like making plays.
Yeah.
Like I played linebacker all throughout youth.
Really?
Didn't play a lot of offense. But it
So you played
was
linebacker.
awesome.
But you were a smaller kid, right?
Yeah.
So how was it being, always the smaller guy?
I feel like I knew like my body. I knew I wasn't the biggest kid. I knew I wasn't the fastest kid. So I would kind of use that to my advantage a little bit. Like I would let I always had like a weird, really high football IQ.
Like you just understood the game.
I just
knew where to be, what to do.
And we'll get into it in a bit. But like high school, now like I could just look at someone's stance and I know what route they're running. Yeah. I know what release they're gonna use.
Yeah.
And like it came a long way, and I think it came from youth. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
A lot of kids wouldn't pick up on the little things, like offensive line's like pretty much standing up. It's probably gonna be a pass. Yeah. You know, and just little things I picked up at that age and just kept with me. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think all those years of development, even though it might seem, not that big of a deal, I think all those years add up.
Oh, definitely. But my youth career actually took a halt. So
really,
I played till I think it was 4th grade.
Okay.
And then I had concussion from deck hockey.
Okay.
I had like 2 concussion football. I was like, okay, like I gotta, like my parents were like, all right, you gotta like chill out. You know what I mean?
Really? Yeah, they're like, you know what, take a break from football. Let's maybe focus on lacrosse a little more, right?
You're barely 10 years old. I don't want you like really playing football anymore. Like just with concussions. I understood.
Yeah, I get that.
So I stopped playing football, and then I picked up lacrosse in like 7th grade.
Really? So that wasn't,
Yeah, 7th grade I played middle school. You know, I was still not very athletic.
Yeah.
Short, small, slow. So I played 7th grade, played attack.
Yeah.
Horrible. And then 8th grade comes around. I switched to defense. I started playing club, and I was getting better, but I still wasn't the best by any means. Like there's a lot of work to be done. But and then like 9th grade came. This was COVID year.
Okay.
And like, I'm really like at this point I felt like I was the best I ever was.
Yeah.
Which is still like I thought pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID happened,
Yeah.
couldn't play the year. I don't even think we played a game. And then it was ninth grade. I also played football in the fall.
Okay.
So I'll tell you how I actually got
Yeah.
into
So
that.
I'm curious. When was the
Got back.
the moment where you're like, I'm playing football now?
Yeah. So basically, it started 7th grade homeroom. You know, I have this guy sitting next to me. He's always loud. I was like, this guy's kind of annoying. I don't know if I'm gonna like him or whatever. And then he's in my science class. Then we start talking.
Yep.
And then that guy ended up being my best friend, Eddie.
Okay.
Best friend, brother for life.
Yeah.
And so we become like really tight. Like we started
Yeah.
hanging out and stuff. And then he told me, this was 8th grade.
8th grade.
Before you remember like they would have the interest meetings for the sports?
Yes.
He told me, he was like, you should try football.
Yeah.
You should like come back to football. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Cause I was a little like nervous cause I was small, wasn't filled out. At this point I wasn't very athletic, but I was like, all right, fine. Like I'll do it. It'll get me in shape or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so I played freshman year. I played corner and receiver. And then I ended up switching to running back and corner. But
Gotcha.
I played freshman year, barely played.
Yeah.
I sucked. I was horrible. I'll never forget. This is my birthday.
Okay.
This is my birthday. We're blowing out Plainview.
Okay.
Like blowing them out horribly.
Mm-hmm.
We're up so much that I get into the game.
Woo-hoo.
Freshman year. I get into the game. I go in that corner. It's my birthday. The guy just runs a go, and I don't know what I'm doing. He just runs a go, which is basically like the receiver just lines up and runs down the field.
Yep.
Quarterback just throws the ball to him. And like I'm out there at corner. I'm guarding him. I'm like, oh dang! Like he runs the route. I already know I'm cooked, and like my recovery speed wasn't that fast.
Yeah.
So the moment was a little too big for me. I get smoked. He catches the ball. It's like a 50-yard gain or whatever. And like now I'm like, oh dang, like but like at this point, like I didn't really care, and there'll be a big change with that coming. But
really,
I got smoked. I'm like, oh dang.
Yeah.
But, so the next drive, we're on offense.
Okay.
I go in at running back and I score like my first ever touchdown of my football career. Cause youth, I never played offense.
Gotcha.
I never played offense.
Yeah.
I only played linebacker.
So you didn't know that feeling, what it was like to
No.
get to the end zone, right?
No, so I take the ball. It's like a inside zone. Quarterback hands the ball off to me. I don't do my assignment. I'm supposed to find a crease, hit a gap, and go. I bounce the ball to the outside, just trying to like make something happen. And I ended up making the end zone scoring.
Yeah.
And I just remember that feeling. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so that was the freshman year.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. I was like, okay, like
when that happened, right?
Yeah.
Did that kind of change your mind? Like, I really like football, right? It went from like this is cool to like I want to play.
Yeah,
football,
that was kind of it. And I was like, okay, like I want to like get good at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's this thing I feel like a lot of people could relate. Sometimes, have you ever felt like I want to get really good at something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and for me, that thing was football.
Yeah.
So like, the off season, like I started working out like hard. I'm putting on some muscle to the frame.
Yeah.
We get to sophomore year now. I've been in the weight room with Shippos all winter.
Yeah.
All winter.
I see. I was in there a little bit because I was recovering with my shoulder, and
I was there every day.
I used to see you guys there, and I'm like, whew, like these guys don't mess around. I mean, especially from a weight perspective, he really pushes you guys. With the 1 rep maxes, and he really tests you guys.
Mm-hmm. Coach Shippos, he changed my life. I think
really?
he's awesome. I only have good things to say about him.
Yeah.
So I started like working out so heavy. so hard.
Yeah.
Trying to put some on. So like I get my little beginner gains.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm starting
absolutely.
to somewhat put on some frame, and COVID happens.
Yeah.
I told you my milk
Your
addiction.
milk, yeah.
So I started drinking a lot of milk, and then what's it called? That sophomore year comes, and for football, the fall sports we play in the spring.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I feel like that kind of helped me a little bit. You know, Shippos.
Oh, yeah, because of COVID.
Yeah, Shippos saw me in the weight room like all winter or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure if he changed his mind or it was Sheedy messing something up. But I remember equipment pickup for sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
I go to pick up my equipment, and our head coach, who was Sheedy, if you remember him, he was like, "Oh, Horan, like you're with varsity."
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, "What?" I was like, "What?" Like I worked out with them, but like I was surprised because I didn't show a lot on the field my freshman year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I was shocked, and then I texted Shippos actually. I was like, "You pulled me up." He's like, "Oh no." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, so she.
Oh man, so you're
so,
getting all hyped up now. You're this is crazy.
I was like, I told my parents, I'm like, yeah, guys, maybe like playing on varsity this year, and then he was like, "Oh no, like that was a mistake, like with numbers and COVID and everything."
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't because at that point like contact tracing was a big thing.
Yeah. That was nuts.
So I stayed on JV that year.
Yeah.
You know, I would go so hard every practice.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, if it was a drill, like if you lined up in front of me, like you're my teammate, but like as soon as the whistle blows, it's
yeah.
like I look at you as like you have another jersey on.
Yeah.
You know, so like I would just play hard, and like the coaches loved that, and then
of course, yeah.
captains came out sophomore year. I was fortunate enough to be named one, and at that point, like
really, you were named captain.
Yeah, JV my sophomore year.
That's good for you, man. I mean, and keep in mind, you stopped football and you just started your freshman year, right?
Yeah. Wow. So
that's crazy.
So I played safety. Still,
okay.
I still wasn't that like. I didn't put a lot of weight on, so I was still a little skinny.
How much did you weigh at this time?
I think I was around like 160.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah.
I played safety. I returned some punts.
Yeah.
And then offense, I didn't really dangle into that too much yet.
Yeah.
But so that season went well.
Yeah.
We won a lot of games. We went undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
We never got to play Farmingdale because their team got their numbers were so low with COVID that like they had to cancel the game.
Wow.
With like the contact tracing and everything.
Yeah,
so they had to cancel the game. That like for Mess people, like that's the game where like okay, like it's go time.
It is. Just for the viewers, Mass people farming, they're rivals. It's very intense. I've been to a couple of those games, and it's
crazy.
It gets intense. You can feel it.
But sophomore year, I had a decent year.
Yeah.
But at this point, this was the year like I was like, okay, like this is my thing. You know what I mean? So I kept working hard going into junior year.
Yeah.
Kept working all summer. That's when I got like my export membership.
Okay.
So I started hitting the gym pretty heavy. So I ate like horrible. Really? I ate horrible.
Yeah.
So I didn't put on as much muscle as I could.
Really?
So
what were you eating? Just like not good food, or just not as much protein?
Not as much protein, not good food, fast food, basically whatever I wanted.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So junior year comes, and like now this is varsity. It's like big leagues now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I remember I had a buzzed head because I lost the bet.
Really?
Yeah, I lost the bet, so I had to buzz my head. So I had no hair for the start of my junior year.
Yeah. Now keep in mind where I was in class with you. I had
do you remember
sports
that?
medicine.
Do you remember that?
I'm trying to think about. I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, I can't say like I vividly remember it.
Yeah,
but,
it was the summer, so I had a little bit of hair.
Yeah.
I had a little bit at the start of school.
'Cause I think you've always had a pretty short haircut. You know,
Mhm.
like I can't remember you with long hair to begin with.
No, I had a little bit longer my freshman year, but it
Yeah.
only lasted a little bit and it started annoying me.
Yeah.
So got it. But junior year comes, and like everyone, even at the start of the year, was like, "This is the team." You know,
Yeah, you had a good
like
we
lineup,
right?
Phenomenal quarterback, phenomenal running back, 2 running backs, great receivers. You know, and like there were so many like good mentors on that team that like kind of like taught me a bunch of things.
Anyone in particular?
There's a lot of guys, you know. Like,
No, I remember. I knew a lot of them. There were a lot of.
Like Johnny Honor.
Yeah.
He was amazing. Even like Del Sandro, Mike, great. Luke, Celino, his brother Jake Menachini was huge for me. So you know, junior year comes, and like we had a great team, but still like I had this. I wouldn't say being cocky, but I thought I should be on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like
you're like, listen, it's
I was
junior year,
performing.
man. Like it's my time, man.
And so basically to start the year, like I didn't play really.
Okay.
I didn't play a bunch. But every practice, like I made it my mission to like I was like pissed off. I was on the field. I was so mad. Like every practice, I made it my mission to like just do whatever I can to like torture the offense in practice. So like I would everyone like not everyone but like sometimes people would go like 75% or whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you're supposed to be going 100% like team drills and stuff, I would never cheat the plays though. Do not get that twisted. I was never one of those kids. But I would just go hard.
Yeah.
So like I remember like a lot of time on scout defense. So scout defense was like the backups or like the kids who weren't getting a lot of reps on the first team. I was on that, and it was me and Matt Smith.
Okay.
And Matt Smith, he played DN. I was playing at this point. I got moved to linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was starting my linebacker, and we both were like, all right, like let's take this over. So like we just started going like balls to the wall. Like if a play was like if they ran a run away and I was like a stand up DN, which sometimes we rotate down depending on the week who we were mocking. Like I would sprint across the field and like tackle one back from behind, and like I would come through like unblock. I would just go so hard in practice that coach like he got mad at the time. Like you know you would get so angry. You'd be like, oh really, Horan? He'd start like going off on me, but like
he's like take it down a little bit.
A little bit, but after practice, he would be like, great job, like keep it up, because like. He goes like, you're making us better. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So like, that was that. I went hard, and then so a game comes. This is Plainview again. Okay. So you remember?
Yes.
Plainview my freshman year, I kind of crapped the bed. You know, I got a little nervous, let up a huge gain or whatever. But now it's Plainview my junior year. I roll out there. I played linebacker and safety that year.
Okay.
Because they were trying to find like what fits me, and like I could do both. So I go in at safety. It's towards the end of the first half. The quarterback throws a Hail Mary, and like I just remember going back and I ended up intercepting it.
Really?
I ended up picking it off, and like at that point I'm like, oh yeah, it's awesome. And then the next drive, they run a stretch, and like I'm at safety. I fly down like 15 yards, full head of steam, make a tackle for loss. And like, I just remember that feeling. I was like I told, like, I should be on the field. You know what I mean? Like, that was my reaction. I wasn't surprised or anything. And then halftime comes, and then like, Spino was like, one of my assistant coaches, he said like, you know, I think that's because of how you work in practice. Yeah. Like, it's like I put in this mindset like everything mattered in practice. So when it was game time, like I wasn't phased. actually getting in
because you put that pressure on yourself during practice.
Exactly.
So when you went out to the game, it was just like
practice, it
right?
was like practice.
Yeah.
So junior year, we ended up winning everything. You know, we lost one game in the regular season. Then we saw that team in the playoffs, Farmingdale, our biggest rival.
Right.
Clean them. Good night. It was like 27-0.
Really?
Or something. And then we played Walt Whitman, LSC. Beat them. You know, I was out there on special teams, rotating in like here and there. But I didn't have like a huge role on the team.
Yeah.
But I would still like, I would say like I still contributed a lot, like
of course, yeah,
in practice and stuff. So we won it all, and like everyone's like celebrating on the bus and stuff. I was celebrating too.
Yeah.
But like that's when it like struck for me like, okay, like my time now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because a lot of seniors left.
Huge senior class. I think it was crazy. Our high school football team was like 50, maybe 60 kids. And like the senior class was like 30.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So like that was a huge senior class. And for me, I already knew going in, like we don't have a lot of seniors in my grade. So I was like, the whole off, you know, I was like, okay,
like you got to step up to the plate.
Right? Time to step up.
Yeah.
So that's when I'd say I really started taking like everything serious. Like I was mapping down my weight and everything, trying to get up. You know, as soon as junior year season ended, was in the weight room. You know, working my tail off. You know, I played lacrosse my junior year.
Okay.
So like I was actually lacrosse. I think is what made me in like incredible shape.
Yeah.
Like I was in such great shape. You know, so at this point, like I feel like I could run forever.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to keep that throughout the off season. Hit the weights as hard as I could.
Yeah.
Start tracking like my own weight. See what I'm putting on. I'm starting to see some gains or whatever. Yeah. So then it comes up. You know, season's starting to approach. It's the summer. You know, I was hitting a bunch of like recruiting camps.
Yeah.
Like the big like college recruiting camps. And you know, the main reason I wanted to go to these was not even like to get looks for college. It was more of to like go against the best players like I could and see how
you do against them.
How I do against them, and like in all the camps, like I held my own. I was a linebacker. You know, that's what I was getting ready to play next season. I was about 190 pounds, 195.
Wow. So even then, I mean, that's still pretty small for a linebacker.
Yeah.
Right?
I was about 5'11", 6 foot, 195.
Okay.
So like.
So even then, how was it going up against a dude who's 250, 300?
I'll get into that. Like, I didn't really, at this point, like, I worked so hard going into my senior year that like, I was like, okay, you may be bigger than me, but like, it was kind of cocky. I was like, okay, but I bet I'm stronger.
Really?
So like, I didn't care. I was just run at him that down. But you know, so I went to the camps and everything. Yeah. And senior year started. I was working my tail off. Like captains get announced. I was lucky to be named one.
Really?
Yeah. So
awesome.
That was cool. And then my best friend who got me into football, Eddie.
Yeah.
He was on too.
Yeah.
So like, and then found him. You know, so.
Gotcha.
That was our senior year. Those are the captains. But I never really I try not to let it like change the way like I play. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Like, I didn't want that to change my personality either with the guys on the team.
Yeah.
So you know, senior year, man.
How were you a little nervous? Or were you feeling, confident? What was the?
I'm not gonna lie. I was not nervous pretty much my whole senior year.
Okay.
But I was really nervous going into the first scrimmage.
Okay.
So the first scrimmage, we were at Wantagh. And, you know, we do 7-on-7s, which is basically like just throwing the football, no offensive line, just to like get together like your concepts, have the receivers run the routes and
just
stuff.
Get the flow, right?
Yeah.
The flow of the play.
And at this point, like I was playing both ways. Like I started at tight end / fullback. I started at those. And I started at linebacker too.
Gotcha.
And then obviously special teams and stuff. But we had those, but it's really not like normal football. It's just like a lot of throwing. So the first scrimmage, I'm like kind of like shitting my pants. 'Cause I'm like,
Really?
okay, like this is the first time I've been given like such a huge role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was a lot going into that like relied on me, and I've never played offense before. Like I remember
Yeah.
that. So we get into the scrimmage, and like the first few drives, like we didn't let them get a yard. Like I'm making tackles and stuff, and the whole team is, and like we're looking great.
Yeah.
And then that's when we're like, okay, like
You're starting to get the hang, like you're feeling it.
we're about to repeat. We're about to win another ring.
Yeah.
Like let's do it.
Yeah.
You know. So first scrimmage went well, and then I still obviously made some errors. And that's one thing too I'll get into. Like I would make errors, and then it was like as soon as I'd get home, I would refresh my email to see when huddle. I would refresh my email to see when I got that huddle notification that the film was posted.
Really?
And before the coaches could even send out like notes, I would watch the film. I would watch the plays like 3 times over and make notes to myself.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, like you false stepped here, like you lost, like stop doing that.
Yeah.
You false stepped like 34 times, like little things.
Yeah.
And then like
that's awesome that you did that.
yeah, because I wanted, like I was saying before, I wanted to get like really good at this.
Yeah.
Like I was willing to do whatever it takes. So now we're getting to the kick of the real season. Senior year is officially started.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the summer anymore. Camp's over. We have our first game against Baldwin.
Okay.
First game against Baldwin. We're home. Everyone's there. There's like high expectations.
Yeah.
Because
you guys just won the
won
Long Island
everything.
Championship. So
Yeah.
you're the best team on Long Island, right? So now you're expected to do very good.
Yeah, and like not a lot of people I feel like in school really knew like I even played football a lot. So like I remember when Cavs were announced, I walked out and then like I opened my phone after the game to like 10 texts being like, dude, I never knew you were like you played football like and all this, and I was like, yeah, I never really like advertised it as much, you know what I mean? But so yeah, Baldwin, that game,
How was it?
awesome. Like I remember going out there, I wasn't really nervous. They had this kid who wrestles at Duke right now.
Okay.
Kwasi Bonsu. Incredible, like freak athlete.
Yeah.
Like he was about 6 foot, maybe 5'11", like 205 pounds, but shredded muscle. 225 actually, shredded muscle. Like I'll show you a picture of him after, and you'll be like, okay, wow, like shredded muscle. This kid was a beast.
Okay.
And I played inside backer, and I would go against him a lot, like just head to head.
Yeah.
But my mindset was like, all right, like bring it, like you're the best. You're the best on your team. I'm one of the best on my team. Like let's do it. You know what I mean?
What happens?
So we started playing. I had like 20 something tackles that game, and then like we ended up winning that game.
Okay.
And then like I feel like that was when I kind of burst onto the scene. Like a lot of people started like learning my name. I'm talking like Newsday, like the writers and stuff. So that was awesome. And then like as senior year goes on, I keep like making plays and stuff. And then homecoming comes.
Okay.
You remember that game?
I mean, listen, there were a lot of games. I'm trying homecoming.
We lost that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was a close one. Right?
Yeah.
You know what? Okay.
You remember?
Now I remember. It was such a. I think it came down to like 1 point.
Yeah, it was like 14,
it was ridiculous,
13.
and I remember it was
boring. It was boring.
Yeah.
So this is homecoming against like I'd say our second biggest rival, Oceanside.
Oceanside, yes.
Oceanside.
Yes.
And like I'm going into like, when I tell you, everyone was there. The whole town was there.
I have to admit, there were a lot of people.
Everyone was
there were a lot
there.
of people, and it was a lot of Oceanside people were there too.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Oceanside people, and then even Farmingdale. Farmingdale, like for some reason, like we're rivals, but they will do anything they can to hate on us. So they're a bunch of the guys on their team. They played the Friday night before, and we played Saturday, so they came to our game. And they stood on Oceanside sideline.
It was
talking crap.
No, it was a big crowd. I remember. Yeah. And it was an intense game. It was definitely.
Oh my! It was an intense game.
I forgot exactly how it went down.
I could break it down.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So at this point, I'm still playing inside backer. Later on this season, I played a bit of hanger, which is like an outside linebacker, like a DN linebacker hybrid kind of thing. So at this point, I'm still playing inside backer, and they had this pretty athletic kid. His name is Nicky. Short, about 5'5", 5'6".
Okay.
Great. He was a good lacrosse player. I think he was playing in college somewhere, but he was athletic. This kid could run.
Yeah.
And he was small, but he wasn't afraid of contact.
Yeah.
So they had a quarterback, but he was a freshman. So the first drive, they roll out on offense. That freshman looked starstruck. He looked like a deer in headlights.
Really?
Yeah, sacked twice. I think it was a tackle for loss. And we're okay, they're done for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we go out on offense. I think we didn't score. Our offense, we had a first year starter quarterback. So it was a little tough. And we were a young team. There wasn't a lot of seniors. Not a lot of seniors that played. So we didn't really do much on offense the first drive. They come back out in Wildcat, which is basically they took that kid who played a running back and they put him at quarterback and just ran the ball. And they had this tight end who plays Division I now, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I got some more about him when we play him in the playoffs. So they would just run behind him the whole time with that little kid, and they would run away from me a lot. I was getting frustrated. You know what I mean? Because this team was not good. Yeah. They were not good, but they would just chew down the clock, take their little gains, and then punch one in, and then our offense would somehow get we weren't able to score. We ended up losing homecoming by 1.
Yeah.
And
didn't it come down to a kick? I could be wrong about that, but
I'm
not sure.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure. I really after the game, I was okay, I'm gonna remember this feeling. I remember
it was. I'll tell you from my perspective, because I was in this. I was actually watching it, right? So we're watching it, and it was great. And then I remember, whatever the buzz went off, and the game was over, and we lost, and it was really weird. It was you felt a little bit of awkwardness because everybody was cheering, going crazy, and then it just got dead quiet, and I'm just and obviously the other side, they were all going nuts, but our side, and keep in mind, we're talking, I'm in the stands with, I don't know how many people, maybe 300 people, let's just say, and it's just quiet, it was just,
Yeah, it was
a little awkward. It's what do you do? Especially with homecoming, it's kind of, when it's homecoming, you want to win homecoming.
Yeah,
right?
That's a game you plan your homecoming for a game you do win.
Yeah.
So it was and the reason it was so quiet is everyone was what? You guys we were undefeated up to that point.
Yeah.
We won the championship last year, and this was they're not as big of a rival as the green team.
Yeah,
but
true.
They were up there. We had some really good matchups. So I remember where we always had to shake hands at the end of it or whatever. I just remember shaking everyone's hands and stuff. And now I'm on the other side of the field, Oceanside. I have a mom telling me to kill yourself, and I'm getting the bird from 20 people. I'm okay, because I was the first one in line. I just turned around, walked away. I'm not gonna get into it with the parent.
Yeah, and these parents were from Oceanside.
Yeah,
that's what. See, even with football, one thing I will say, it gets personal.
Yeah, but
it gets personal.
These parents, it's some of them try to live through their kid too much. You know what I mean? And that's something I am so happy about. Like, I have the best parents in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I love them all to death. If I could choose, if I had to like do my whole life over again, they would both be my parents again.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. I like. There were some parents that like I feel like try to live through their kids too much.
Absolutely, especially in sports.
It's crazy, like youth and stuff. That was never mine. And like some of these parents are out like getting like hammered at like high school games. And like, dude, and like those are the ones that are like mouthing off and stuff. And like I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
I get it.
So anyway, that game, we walked back in. Everyone was like, oh, like all pissed off and stuff. And like the captains have to talk. Like we talked to the team after every game.
So what?
Win or loss.
Yeah. So what did you say?
I just remember I gave the speech. So when you're driving a car, right? You see how big the windshield is?
Yeah.
You see how big the rearview mirror is? There's a reason for that. Like, if you keep, like, okay, we know it's there, we know it happened. Like, let's look through the windshield, keep going forward. You know what I mean? Because you stare at the rearview mirror too much. Guess what? You're gonna hit something. You're gonna crash.
Yeah.
You know, so that was my speech. I really explained it in like really broken down like better terms than I am right now. But you know, I feel like that kind of like moved a lot of people and was like, okay, like
that's actually very. I've never heard of that before. What made you?
What made me?
What made you say that?
So I read actually quite a bit like
really?
self-improvement like books and stuff.
Interesting.
And that was in one of these books. It's called The Power of Positive Thinking.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still reading that one today. Like I read little bits and pieces like here and there. I actually remember seeing that and like and then like so when we lost I was trying to think of what to say and like I was like, okay, do I bring that up or do I say like remember this feeling, you know, like the typical like cliche stuff. But I gave that speech and then like it really hit me like saying it. I was like, okay, like I'm not worried about this. We know we're better than them. We didn't play a good game. That's that.
Yeah.
Let's move on. You know, so worked hard in practice and everything. They're our only loss, and then we played Farmingdale.
Okay.
Played Farmingdale.
Yeah.
You know, then this team, Farmingdale, you know, credit to them. They were loaded with seniors.
Yeah.
They were loaded with seniors. Senior quarterback, a senior running back, really good junior running back, like a few good receivers, good defense and stuff, and like they were a good team. But like going into it, like I'm watching their film, I'm like, we can beat them. Like they are beatable. So like getting ready for that game was just a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
A lot of preparation. You know, like we got out there. We were home for that game too. Like everyone was there because you know.
And now keep in mind, right? So the Long Island champions, right? The year before, they lose this game to Oceanside, and now there's a little bit of it's almost like a little chink in the armor, right? Because now we're like, wow, like okay, Mass Peak was beatable. Now let's see how they do against Farmingdale, and like what you said, they still had their seniors, and Mass Peak lost a lot of theirs, so it was a little bit like, okay, let's see. This could go either way.
Yeah, like they had this fullback who committed like Division I for lacrosse, but like phenomenal athlete, good football player. Started like 3 years, I think, and they beat every team up to this point by like 40. They won every game up to this point by 40.
Yeah.
So we were like, I think we were like what 5-1, and they were 6-0, and their margin of victory is like 40, and like, but I'm still watching this team. I'm like, dude, they are beatable. Like, and I will stand on this. We have the best. Like, I was so blessed. I think we had the best coaches.
Yeah.
Like great minds, you know. So we're game planning for that game and stuff. We go out there, and you know, at the start, it's like I think we stopped them the first drive. We stalled on offense, but the game's like in reach.
Yeah.
Like I'm winning all my one-on-one matchups. Like I'm making plays, like I'm having really good blocks. I'm like, okay, like come on, like let's
keep it going.
Let's do it. But like it just like never happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I felt like some people, like as soon as we went down a touchdown, people were just like, oh, I'm done. You know, and like that kind of like pissed me off a little bit.
Really?
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like we ended up losing that game. Like I think it was pretty bad. I think it was like 40 to like 14 or something, and 7 of those points were in garbage time for us.
Yeah.
You know, so we ended up losing that game, and
that had to really hurt the team.
Yeah,
you lost not once but twice.
That right? Did I was a little frustrated because I'm like I feel like no one on that team could stop me, and we're still losing. Like I want to like at that point I was still at inside back. I was like I need to do something. I need to make a bigger impact. Like I feel like unstoppable.
Yeah.
And like they were just able to like run away from me, you know, and do all this stuff. So like I remember texting one of my assistant coaches about like moving me to outside linebacker. So I would follow their best player.
Yeah.
So in the coming weeks we did that. We played Hempstead, who had this like giant at running back, like 6'3", 240. Oof. And this is my first time playing like a hanger, which is like a Sam or like a strong outside linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing that. Like it's Hempstead, and they were I think they were like 5-1 or 5-2 at this point. They were a good team.
Yeah.
Because they got a new coach. They had this running back who's solid. I think he's playing Division II now. Big guy, and he's deceptively fast. Like he could hit a hole. And they had this quarterback who was a good player too. You know, I remember like going into that game. We ended up like I switched positions, and we ended up like killing them, like 30-7 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I had a touchdown. At this point, I had like 3 touchdowns on the year and stuff.
Yeah.
So we ended up winning that game, and I was like, okay, like let's keep this rolling.
Yeah.
So now playoffs start.
Okay.
Right. We get to playoffs. Week 1 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We're the 2 seed. So I think we went against, what was it, the 5th seed, or the 4th. I think it was the 4th. We got matched up with Farmingdale. Not Farmingdale, Oceanside.
Oceanside. I remember.
We got matched up with Oceanside.
It was.
So I'm happy. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Really?
Like we could have had Syosset, who we beat by 30 in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is like what made no sense to me. We beat Syosset, like I think we shut them out like 30-0 or something, and Syosset beat Oceanside.
So now you know something's not adding up. Right?
Yeah, I was like, dude, like I'm telling them, and even watching film, I'm like, these guys aren't beatable. And now I'm playing that strong outside linebacker. I'm getting a little more involved in offense, and I'm like, okay, like we're gonna do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, everyone's fired up. You know, like Shippo's had everyone going.
Yeah,
he's a great motivational guy.
What I'm curious, right? Because I'm not a football player. How does he get you guys fired up? Like, what do you guys usually do?
Like he just it's just like he says things that really make you like think like, all right, like this guy, like I want to run through a wall for him. You know what I mean? Like whenever he would talk before games, I was like, I'm ready to like put on my helmet and try to run through a brick wall. You know what I mean? Like he's that kind of motivator.
Yeah.
Because like everything he does, it was like, okay, like he really like gives a crap about us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So going to that game, I remember we had this play. We put in the week before, like we were repping the whole time, and he was like, "We're gonna need this." It was like a tight end screen. I was playing tight end.
Okay.
So like it was basically make it look like I'm pass blocking for like 2 seconds, and then I would slip under, catch a screen with like lead blockers, linemen blocking. Eddie was playing center.
Okay.
So it's a tight game. The game starts. It's like second quarter. It's a tight game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's a huge 3rd down it's like a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, which is like a
Okay.
passing down. But we weren't really able to get a lot going on the passing because they were putting this package where they would take all their D linemen off the field and just put like linebackers standing up on the offensive lineman, just like drop them pretty much. So we were like, Shippo's being a good mind that he is, good football mind. So all right, like we would play for that. So we ran that screen, and I remember getting that ball, like it was like a 15-yard gain, first down, moved the chains, we ended up scoring. So now we're up like I think a little over a score, so like 8 points or something. And then we go back the next drive. We go back. I'm on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guarding like that Division I 6'4", like 250 kid and tight end. And like every time I was in man coverage, he never got the ball.
Really?
Like they would never throw to him. But he lined up as an outside receiver, and I'm a linebacker, so I wouldn't flip with the corner, and the corner would come inside.
Gotcha.
So the corner was out there, and like the quarterback threw the ball up to him. This guy is like 6'5", our corner's like 5'8". He made the 6'5" guy, I don't know what to say, made a crazy catch in the end zone. It's like a 30-yard touchdown, and I'm like, dang, like so they. Kicked the extra point or whatever. So it's around the tie game. We may be up by 1. And then basically we go down and like I'm playing fullback. We're running the ball. Like they couldn't really stop us. Like they were just really good at getting off the field on 3rd downs. But their 1st and 2nd down defense, their run downs, horrible. You know, they were just good at getting off the field on 3rd downs at that package.
Yeah.
You know, but we ended up, so we're up like 1 at the end of the game.
So it's tight.
It's tight. And then so they tried doing that same play, but our safety, another captain, Ryan Fountain, he came over, picked the ball off, sealed the game.
Yeah.
So we won that, and like I was like, dude, that was like awesome for me. That was like,
yeah.
And the whole team was like, all right, like it's revenge. You know what I mean?
Now you avenged your loss.
Yeah.
I mean, how did that feel for the team? Did it fire everybody up?
That fired everyone up. You know what I mean? But yeah, that fired everyone up. You know, so now like we're all excited. Like I don't even remember what I did that that weekend night.
Yeah.
I probably just stayed in. I didn't really go out a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next week we get our matchup. We're going against who we played week 1, Baldwin.
Okay.
And they were a good team. We didn't win that game by a lot. We won by like 14, which seems like a lot, but like they were in it. Like they had a lot of chances to take over.
Yeah. Was that a home game?
In the playoffs, the first game was at home. Now this playoff one, this is where we start going to Hofstra.
Gotcha. Yes.
So we were home at Hofstra for this one, and I remember, you know, at this point, I felt like I was like, oh, like no one can block me. You know what I mean? I'm a little cocky. First play, I'm still playing that outside linebacker, the hanger. First play, that Kwasi kid. They run a sweep to my side. Like I go, and I was a little off balance. Kid like picked me up and threw me, like cleaned me first play, and I was like, what? Like this doesn't happen and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Were you a little shooken up?
No, I was a little shooken up. It was like a 40-yard gain.
Yeah.
It was like a 40-yard gain. Like my coaches, I hear them on the sidelines screaming at me, but like I knew, I was like, okay, like I'm fine. Like it's one play. I was just waving it off and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so they ended up scoring that drive. But then I started to get comfortable. That's how it was my whole football career. I need to be hit in order to like hit, if that makes sense.
It's almost like going into a pool, right? You gotta dunk your head and get acclimated with one, and then once you go, you're good, man. You can do whatever. So I
just need to feel that first
you have
like
to
impact.
Feel it a little bit, right? Because I'm sure there's a little bit of that hesitation, right? Like nobody wants to get hit. But once you do, I'm sure you warm up. You start to feel the game out.
And going into this game, I was actually a little sick.
Really?
I was a little sick. I remember I was like throwing up and stuff. But every time I was sick was like the best things that like happened to me. Like Shippos told me I got like all county when I was sick, and like so that was a big like some confidence for that.
There you go.
I had some confidence, but and I got my ass kicked the first play. So I'm like, okay, like all right, like this is football, like let's do it. I love it. I love it. So like I started getting comfortable making plays. I had like a huge. We were down one. It was like 28-20. We were down one, so it was 28-27. We just scored a touchdown.
Okay.
So we're still down one. So we go for a 2-point conversion. And this is a play we put in the whole week. It's a tight end throwback.
Okay.
So basically, like, I run, the quarterback rolls out to the right. I'm lined up at the start on the right, but I'm running all the way to the left. So the quarterback makes it look like he's rolling out. He's about to dump it to the back. He throws it across the field, and I was pretty much like wide open. So we scored that. We go out on defense. We made a huge stop. I was in man coverage against like some like 5'8", 150 pounder, but like once again, like like he's faster than me.
Yeah.
Like he's more athletically gifted, but like I know what he's gonna do. So it's like it doesn't really matter.
It's like that IQ. That's when the IQ comes.
Yeah, like okay, like you're running full head of steam. I know your route running isn't that good, where you can just break in 1 foot and run the other way. Like you're running to go. So like I knew that, so I dropped for it, made a huge pass deflection, and then so they ended up, we get the ball back, we didn't score. It was a messed up snap, and like we lost like 20 yards. So like then we had to punt the ball back to them after we made that stop. And so they marched down the field and ended up scoring. Now at that point we're only up by, what was it? We're only up by 1, and they went for 2.
Okay.
So they just scored a touchdown. They're going for 2. They get this 2-point conversion. There was like 20 seconds left. Game's over. Like we lost. So they're going for 2. So he hands the ball off. The quarterback hands the ball off. Whistles blown. I'm like, okay, like let's go.
Yeah.
Matt Smith makes a great play, sheds a block, makes first contact. Ryan Weedrack comes in, I come in, like we make a tackle in the backfield, no touchdown. I mean, no 2-point conversion, and like we're all going crazy because like our season was this close to being over.
Yeah.
So,
it gets crazy.
It
really does. Especially when playoffs come.
Yeah, playoffs, like just that energy and animosity.
It's different.
It's really different, but I was like, wow, we just did it. So, but anyway, I'm trying not to get like too crazy about it because I'm on kickoff return and they were onside kicking, and they kicked the ball right to me, a squib. They squibbed the ball, so it's bouncing all over the place. It bounces like right over just over my head. We're jumping up, catching the ball on an onside kick. You just go down, and tuck the ball. Game's over. You have possession. You won. I just remember catching the ball because I like joked around at practice. I was like, oh, they better not kick the ball to me. Like, they better not kick the ball to me. Like, that's easy. Like, I'm going to catch it and stuff. Like, just joke around. And they kicked the one to me. So I was like, okay, I really can't mess this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got it. Went down. Game was over. We ended up winning.
Wow.
So, now it's the county championship.
Ooh.
It's next week.
Okay. So now you got Farmingdale, right?
You got Farmingdale.
Okay. So now it's like, okay, let's see what happens.
But still, I played inside linebacker against them the first game, and I played outside this year. So I was like, I'm looking at like what they're doing and stuff, their players, and like my game plan, I was following certain people. Like when they were on offense, like that's how I knew what side of the field I would go to.
Yeah.
And like I was like, dude, this is winnable. So we ended up going out. We had a great week of practice. we ended up going out and like the first drive. What's it called? I made a few tackles on the first drive, like 3 tackles. We get the ball. We had a huge first play that could have been a touchdown, but we didn't end up scoring. And then, dude, I remember that we punted the ball. I was on punt. I run down, make a big hit, and now like I feel like we have the momentum, but I feel like no one on the team like realizes that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they come out on offense. Like they're gaining yardage, but it's not like they're not just like it was the first game, like 20 yards, like okay, like touchdown. You know what I mean? Like we're making them really like earn it. You know, so we're going down. They're marching down the field, and I made a huge like TFL. Like they ran to my side. I'm lined up on line of scrimmage, shed a block, and like made a huge TFL. At this point, I'm fired up. Like I feel like I got so much energy.
Yeah.
Like it's go time now.
Absolutely.
And then like on offense, we just couldn't get anything going. We go into half. It's like 21-0. We're down 21-0.
I want to talk to you about that, right?
Yeah.
Halftime. I think that's a big part of football where that mentality, you know, you have that moment to take some time with your team and, you know, talk things through. So what usually happens?
So there's all different, like when you're down, I feel like this is in life too. You really find out who you are as a person. You know, there were some people, like you had some of the younger kids that were like laughing, joking around, like they couldn't really give a crap, and like that would just make me angry, but I try not to pay attention to it. And then there were some people that were like, okay, like let's go.
Yeah.
Like, but me, I was walking up to the coach. I was like, call this play. This is open. Like I'm trying to help make like little adjustments.
Of course.
Like
yeah.
this I don't want that. Like this is the county championship in my senior year.
Of course.
Like this ended up being my last high school game. I was like, I want to like go out with bang. So I told him like call this one play. It was a boot. So we go out first drive on offense. We get the ball. When we're at our like 30-yard line.
Yeah.
So we run a boot. I run like a 10-yard, dig. It was a play action. I get the ball, and I remember just running 60 yards, scored a touchdown. So like it was like a 69-yard touchdown. I think Newsday called it. I think it was really like 60. But I remember scoring. I was like, let's go. Like, dude, I'm fired. It's 21-7. Like this is a football game.
It is.
Like it's a football game, and then like they get so we scored 21-7. They get the ball. We get an interception. So we have the ball. I'm like, this is the time. Like let's go. Let's do it. And then like it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen. Like, you know, like some people just made like some mistakes, like some errors. You know, we're a young team.
Yeah.
Not very experienced. So we ended up like losing that game. I think it was like 37. That was my last high school game.
Wow.
But,
was it a little emotional?
It was. It was definitely emotional, but I don't know, man. Like taking off the padded jersey was like the hardest thing.
Really?
Yeah, for the last like the bus ride home. Like I got on the bus, like the whole bus dead silent.
Really?
Yeah.
What did Coach Chipos have to say? What did he say to you guys?
Not much.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
much.
sure he was pretty upset too, right?
He was, but you know, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. Just even think about that right now just makes me mad.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we ended up losing that game. That was my last high school game, but I still like I feel like I played a really good game. You know, like
Yeah.
it was always the better teams I played my best games against. Like
I think they really pushed you.
yeah.
They pushed you to be your best.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. You know, like I was like super I was like ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't really starstruck or anything. I just felt ready. You know. Then like so season's over now. I'm still working out or whatever. Like I love football. I was like, okay, like I want to play college football.
Yeah. Now, was that a no-brainer for you, or
For
did you
me,
have to think about it a little bit?
so it was a no-brainer for me. Looking back on it, I wish I thought about it. I wish I thought about it.
Really? Why? Why is that?
I like. I feel like there's a lot people don't like kids like high schoolers don't really know financially about college. Like loans are like no joke.
Yeah.
Loans are no joke. Like as soon as like the subsidized ones that like gain interest and stuff, like as soon as you're done with college, like that's debt on you.
Yeah.
You know, I wish like I was a little more educated, like when I was in the college search, like okay, like this is what's gonna happen. But anyway, like football season's over now in high school, and I remember I got sick again. I got food poisoning
Oh,
from Finn's Deli.
really?
Yeah, from Finn's Deli. I ate it before school one day, and then like I was like, oh no, like
You felt
my stomach, like
yeah.
I was throwing up for hours. I would try to eat a cracker and throw that up. Like it was horrible. And then I remember like Coach Shippo shot me a text like, "Congratulations, you made All-State. Like, you made the All-State team." I was like, wow. Like
That's
I wasn't really expecting that.
really.
Yeah. So like I was like, that's awesome. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
so some colleges started coming in. I started talking
Yeah. So
a bunch of schools.
how's the recruiting process?
The recruiting process, it was like it's so like weird,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because like some schools will try to like do anything to like sell you their program, but like you actually then like you get there, it's like you're just another guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They just want to get you.
They want to get you in. Like they don't want another team like swooping you in. But like I don't have like any regrets. You know, I went to, so I'm doing the college football process. I only have like I'm only talking like one Division I school.
Okay.
No money or nothing. It was Stony Brook, like a preferred walk on.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That was the only Division I look I really had. And then I had like 40 D3s and like
40?
10 D2s.
Okay.
Yeah, because like
That's a lot of schools.
there were so many schools that were coming in, and like my email, my Twitter, especially Twitter.
Really?
Like my Twitter was flooded and everything. But like I really like sat down and I mapped out like some of these colleges, like I open it up, I'd be like, oh, like this, they have a good program. I look at their tuition, $60,000. I was like, okay, like come on, like I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
Like I love football, but like I'm not setting my whole life back like 10 years to play football for 4 extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
So
you have to think like that, right? You have to
you
understand that.
That's like I really wish they talked about like how serious of a decision college is. I really wish they did that, because like there's some people that like are just willing to, they'll see like the palm trees and everything, like the beaches, and they'll be like, oh, sign me up. Like you're setting yourself back. Like it's your decision. It's your decision. Like if you really like want to do that, go ahead and stuff. But like me personally, like I don't want to have that debt when I get out.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Because it's something you got to think. Like when you see those numbers and you're like, $60,000. I mean, that's a lot of money, right?
But
I mean, that's 1 year.
These kids don't think about that, because
Yeah.
a lot of it's like, oh, my mom's doing the whole like college thing, like setting up my FAFSA and everything, and like all the payments and stuff. So like the kids never see like oh crap, like this is what I owe.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like I know a lot of people who are right now after 1 year of college, like near 20K. They're gonna have to owe back just from this year.
Yeah.
Just from this year, 20K. That's collecting interest over time. Like the that's I don't know. I'm very like lean one way in that.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's just like so. I ended up going to Utica, enjoy my time there.
Yeah. What made you want to go there?
You know, I visited a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to a spring practice. The coach just like who ended up leaving before I got there. Coach Gerbino, one of the like greatest Division III coaches of all time.
Really?
Yeah, he's coaching Division I now in Florida. He recruited me and like I was like I liked the place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I ended up going there for phys ed.
Okay.
Phys ed, and like it wasn't too much like money wise.
Mm-hmm.
I had some pretty good scholarships. So yeah, I went there. You know, no, like I have no regrets. Like I love my time there.
Yeah.
Play football, like you know, I was like making my way. I think I started like second to last on the depth chart, and then like over time, like I made my way up to like the first freshman.
Okay.
The first freshman linebacker, and like I love my time there, but like I felt like I made some great friends, but I felt like you know like I like need a change.
Really? Was there anything in particular that you just
It
weren't
was
too fond of?
it was really like I made a bunch of really good friends that like weren't gonna be coming back.
Yeah.
So it and I didn't transfer because they weren't there. It was just like I don't know. It was kind of weird. And like the coach, the coach like he started like with some of my friends. Like I made like we were up at college 2 weeks earlier than everyone living there
Mm-hmm.
full time. So we go really tight. And like some of these guys like got cut. Some of these guys like got cut like the day school started and like weren't allowed on the team.
Wow.
And then like so I was like damn like
What was the reason?
not good enough.
Yeah.
Some kid, yeah. But it was crazy. So I was like, all right, I kind of want to change and stuff. So I went to Morrisville.
So you went from your first semester you were at Utica,
Utica.
right?
Yeah.
And now your second semester you transfer.
Yeah. Second
Wow.
semester I transferred. And I played spring ball at Morrisville.
And how was that? How?
You know, I actually I didn't really like the school.
Okay.
I didn't really like.
I'm
what
curious.
it
What
was.
made you want to go there? Like, what was the?
Eddie plays there.
Oh.
Eddie
Okay.
plays there.
Oh, okay. I see what the. Okay.
And like you know, I was like, oh, like I think it would be good. I think it would be good for me
Yeah. It's,
and stuff. But you know, it was really like I really thought about like what's my best interest. What do I want to do in life?
Yeah.
I was studying exercise science, and like I really sat down and thought to myself, is the only reason I'm here because of playing football?
wow.
And
Yeah.
like I didn't want that to be it.
Yeah.
And like I really thought like, what do I want to do when I get older? And like I thought like, okay, like I don't think I want to do anything in this field. Why am I studying this major? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can get a degree of what I want to do somewhere else for a lot cheaper, and while I'm doing that, I could work full time and make money. So I was like, okay, like I think I'm gonna choose that second option.
Yeah.
So you know, I had a
That's
good
interesting. Wow,
time.
but it seems like from high school to college, things really started to. I guess you're really starting to think about your future.
Yeah,
Right?
like because high school, I was just like, oh yeah, go with the flow.
Yeah.
You know, like high school, you didn't have to.
Life was
have to
simple.
think of
Life
much.
was simple.
Yeah.
You go to class from 7:30 to 2:30. Whatever you do, sports, activities. Hang out with your friends, all that. And life is just simple.
Yeah.
And I would say I'm on a similar boat as you, where you get to college, you're like, bro, what am I gonna do with my life?
Yep.
Because you realize that you could do anything, right? Like
Mhm.
there's really no limit on what path you want to go down, and there's no wrong answer. See, that's the
Yep.
hard part, is that there's no
There's
right
no-
or wrong
yep.
answer, right? It's really what's best for you.
Yeah.
And I think even you were talking about, like going to college purely for football. I think that's something that college athletes really struggle with, is because they go.
It's an identity crisis.
It's an identity thing where they play a sport for 4 years, but
Mhm.
this is the thing. It's 4 years. It's not that long,
Mhm.
and then they get out and they're like, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
It's
Like, what do I do with this piece of paper?
This was my life. This was
Yeah.
my life, and now that's just not it anymore.
Yep.
And I think it could be a struggle for people.
Oh, definitely.
And I can even say for myself, I'm still not sure where exactly I want to go, but at least I have the thought in my mind and I'm thinking.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people aren't. So you're
of course.
pretty ahead of a lot of people.
I think the most important thing you can do is just try different things. Try to experience as different things possible. Because if you don't try things, how are you going to know?
Exactly. And Bill, the biggest, if I could like give advice to someone like who is going away to college or even like end that time age, it's like make connections.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Make connections, like build that like social web, because you never know in the future like what's gonna come down. You know what I mean?
100%.
So like build connections, definitely.
Yeah, because you're right. You really just never know where things are going.
You never know what you're gonna be doing. You never know what your best friend's gonna be doing. You never know like your career and someone like you work with you could be in the same career. Like they could potentially get you a job. Like that happened with one of my good friends. And like that's why like it's so important to like build your contacts, like build your connections.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
awesome.
So now you go to Morrisville, right? You're doing your thing.
Yeah.
Playing football, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was that? Good?
Yeah, it was good,
It had to be a little awkward, right? Like joining the team midway, right?
One thing I will say, I met so many great people.
Really?
So many great people, like I was in a Bible study.
Really?
I was in FCA.
Interesting.
Wow. Faithful Christian Athletes.
Wow.
How
was that?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like we would have a theme, like bringing verses for it, and we met every Thursday, Sunday.
Interesting.
And then FCA was Friday, so 3 times a week.
It's funny you say, because I'm actually part of a Bible study myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Around here?
Yeah. Well, I go to Delphi, so
yeah. Oh,
they have a Bible study there. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well get into that, right? I know in your bio you have you have a verse, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's just
from
like,
Isaiah, right?
Yeah, Isaiah. Like I feel like the Bible is so powerful because people don't think too much about like afterlife. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
And like, no one wants to think about, okay, like, what happens when I die? What happens? Like, no one really thinks about that. So like, I feel like it's important to like get your mind, get your spirit right while you're here.
Absolutely.
So you can live eternally.
Yeah.
So it's just like powerful for me. I'm pretty young into it. You know what I mean? At Utica.
Yeah.
At Utica, great guy, Matt Bradley. Like, I went to a Bible study and joined like FCA, and like started like teaching me, like not teaching me, but like he kind of introduced
just showing
me.
it to you. Yeah.
He never like pushed on me or stuff. But like I started like get back into it. I went to Catholic school, but like Catholic school is kind of like, okay, like this is the basics.
Yeah.
Like this is.
I feel like even then you're kind of forced to do it, right? You go to the class. You don't have a choice. It's not like they're giving you the option.
It's like, oh, we gotta go to church.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna make it look like I'm not sleeping.
There you go. Right? But this is the first time where you really have the opportunity to do it for yourself. Nobody's forcing you.
No one.
Right?
No one. So I just, I did it. I did it all. And I just started like trying to like learn everything. You know what I mean?
Of course, there's a lot. And
There is a lot. I think like one of like best things you could do like is if you don't understand something, just go in, like bring a notebook and like don't say a word and just try to pick up everything you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I wasn't talking a lot. I wasn't trying to butt in my 2 cents. I was just like picking up like, okay, what are these concepts? What are these ideas and stuff? And then like then that's what. So he brought me to a church.
Really?
He brought me to a church up there near him. And then I got that church. People are amazing. They gave me a Bible.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been reading out of.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'll read something to you.
Yeah, go for it.
But when did you start getting into?
I would say over the summer, right after high school. It kind of, it was kind of like a time where there wasn't, I guess, a ton going on, right? So it really got me thinking, and and for the first time, I'm like, wow, like what does the future hold, and even like what you said with the afterlife, like what's gonna happen when we die?
That is scary.
Because think about it, right? How old? You're 18, right? I'm 19. I mean that flew by.
Yeah.
That flew by, and I can see how somebody can get old, or even then, we're not guaranteed anything, man. I mean, we're not guaranteed next year.
No,
anything
you're not guaranteed like a minute.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean?
So you can't take it for granted, and it's just you wonder like, is this really it? Like, is there more? Is there something more?
Yeah, is there more life?
And I'm like, I hope there is, and I'm like, you know what? I have to search for it. I have to see, man. I have to see what's out there. Obviously, I was raised Catholic. So I just wanted to dive in there and just more of a curiosity thing. Hey, like what's up with this? And then, I went to the Bible study, right? And at first I was a little hesitant, right? I don't really know that much about it. But after meeting the people, I mean, they were so welcoming and joyful. I'm like, bro, there's something going on, right? I feel something, and I'm like, I have to keep going. And then before you know it, you just kind of keep going, and you just become part of it.
Start like that. That's the great thing. Like you can always learn something.
Absolutely.
Like there's so much. Like I read something. Like it was if you read like 20 pages of the Bible like every day in like 5 years, you would have read it like 5 times over.
Yeah.
Or something. And like you can never be like too well versed.
Absolutely.
I mean? Like I'm not very well versed. Like I need my reading glasses to read the Bible I have.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just always something to learn.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. It's awesome. But the quote I have.
Yeah, let me hear this.
And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" Then I said, "Here I am, send me." And he said, "Go and say to this people, keep on hearing, but do not understand. Keep on seeing, but do not perceive. Make the heart of this people dull, and their ears heavy, and blind their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed." Then I said, "How long, O Lord?" And he said, "Until cities lie waste without inhabitant, and houses without people, and the land is a desolate waste, and the Lord removes people far away." It's just like powerful for me. The real verse I had in it was, keep on hearing but do not understand, keep on seeing but do not perceive.
So what does that mean to you?
What it means to me is like, just always like, so I feel like so often we're so quick to try to be like, okay, like rush everything. Like, what does this mean? Like, why is this God? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it's just a reminder. Like, He has a plan. You know what I mean?
That there's a purpose.
There's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
That's something I believe in too. Like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, so like,
Even if you don't know what that reason is. And I think that can be frustrating for a lot of people because things happen and maybe it's just outright bad. Like there's really, in your mind, you can't justify why that's happening.
yeah,
But in a, there is a reason. You
Yeah.
just, sometimes you might not be able to comprehend it.
keep on seeing but do not perceive.
Yeah.
It's like, because so many, I'm always one to try to like understand everything. Like
Yeah.
I want to try to like wrap my head around like everything that goes on, but like it for me it's like, okay, like I don't have to understand that. Like trust God. That's like the main focus, I feel like, behind it.
Absolutely. I think it's so hard.
It
Because
is.
sometimes it's just hard to trust and say, you know what, I am doing the right thing and I'm on the right path, even if I don't think I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just, I think it's difficult for people.
Definitely, but super powerful.
Agree, though. If you can really put your trust in God, I think it just helps so much with just everything.
Every little thing, like life is like limitless, and life is endless. Like you'll be alive eternally.
And that's powerful.
It's so
Powerful. It's almost like you think of this as just a glimpse of the future. Like this life is it's temporary. It's not it's not meant to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a test, right? Just to test our faith and see, you know, whether we go to, you know, heaven or hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I mean, when you think about life like that, it really changes your perspective.
It does for sure. But all you have to do is like believe. That's all Jesus ever asks is just believe in me, trust in me.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I feel like people think like, oh, I'm too bad to like get into faith. Like they'll never accept me. Like you want to know something crazy? Like Hitler could be in heaven.
I mean,
As messed up as that is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like if at the end of the day, like according to the scripture, like if he believes and he truly repents his sins, like you can go to heaven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think sometimes people feel like they're almost not good enough, right?
Yeah.
Like even going to church, you feel like, you know what, I sin, and you know what, I'm just not. I don't belong there.
And that was a total radical example. But I'm just saying, like some people, like, oh, I curse a lot. Oh, like some older people, like, oh, I'm alcoholic. Like
Yeah.
And it's just like little things that, but like to God, every sin is equal.
Yeah.
No sin.
Like we're all sinners.
Yeah.
In
No.
God's eye.
But it's great. No sin weighs more than another. So like someone just saying like, oh my, it is equal in God's terms to like some completely like diabolical.
Yeah.
So it's like just have faith in him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think even with the sins, right? I mean, I'm not saying like it's, you know, don't be like, yeah, I believe in God, but then do all these sins.
Because then you don't.
Then
You're just lying. You're just lying.
Then you are, right? But I think it comes with time. It's not you know, it's like an instant fix. Like I believe in God. Now I'm just gonna completely change my life around.
Yeah.
It's not like, let's just say dropping F-bombs, right? Yeah. Like you're not just gonna. It's a habit, right? If you've been doing it for years and years, you're not just gonna be able to overnight change it. It's gonna take time, but it's a process.
Yep.
And I think God wants it to be a process.
Yeah. Like just think about it. You never get in the shower totally clean.
Exactly.
You get in the shower dirty, and over time it cleans you. That's how faith is.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, I have to say, I didn't. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm still young into it. Like,
yeah. Wow. But that's great that you joined a Bible study. I mean, that's awesome. You know, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be cool. But like, what's the structure of the Bible study up near you?
Usually it's just like we'll have a Bible, right, and there'll be like question, like prompts. Right,
Okay,
and they'll like ask a question, we'll look at a verse, and then we'll pretty much just talk about it.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then maybe for like a half an hour, and then go to another one, and then just keep going for a couple hours. How about you? How do they usually do
it? It was like, so we would have like a theme, like I'm just trying to think of one off the top of my head. Like teamwork.
Okay.
Find like a verse on it. See how it correlates, like what it means to you. Another one's like love and compassion. And then like we would read like some books like John.
Okay.
A lot.
Yeah. Right.
And then like everyone would get a chapter. Then we'd read it, like say what you highlighted and stuff. So.
Gotcha. Now is that just with athletes or is everyone? Right?
Nah, that's everyone. But there's only like, let's say like 5 regulars that would show up.
Really?
6. Yeah.
Okay.
But then like occasionally like someone would come and then not show up the next one. You know?
Yeah. Like there's
some people
the floaters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely glad I got into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that just keeps building over time.
Yeah,
So,
and you
it's a great
meet some great people.
I have to say, for me, I was almost a little bit like hesitant because I'm like something's up with this. These people are almost too.
Yeah, like why are you so nice?
Yeah, why are you so nice?
Yeah.
Like, why is everyone just so joyful? Like something's up. And then I go there the second time, and I'm like the third time. I'm like, bro, these people really are the way they are. I thought maybe they were like that because I was like putting on an act. They just wanted me to keep showing up, but they really are what they say they are. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Like God has to be real, right? Because even when you look at everyday things, I mean, the sun comes out, the oceans, just everything, just even the way we're developed, right? The way we can think. I mean, that can't just. I feel like that just can't. It's not coincidental, right? Because everything is just so perfect. Like everything is so catered to us, catered to humans. I mean,
it's like faith is so powerful. I can't believe some people like don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, to each their own.
Yeah, of course.
But dude, it's just like I feel like so many signs in life point to like, okay, like Jesus was alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Was there anything for you that was like you had like an epiphanal moment, or was it more like what you were saying with that guy who just brought you one time and that's what started it? Or was there something manifesting in you beforehand?
There is like I told you, like I always want to know why is this happening? I want to feel like I can understand everything.
Yeah.
You know, and then like so I got into my faith, and then that's what I'm like, can't understand everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd say that, and also like just want to know like why is this happening in my life? You know what I mean? Why is this happening in my life? Like, and then I got into faith, and now everything makes sense. I'm like, I'm at peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome. So you went to Morrisville this semester, right?
Yeah,
now,
this spring.
Yeah. You all finished up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're gonna go back there, or what's the?
I'm gonna be staying home.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I haven't made a decision where what I'm gonna be doing for college here yet, but I'm gonna be staying home working.
Okay. Where are you gonna work at?
I work at Smoking House. I've been there 3 years.
Gotcha. Okay.
So work there, pick up more shifts, make money.
Yeah.
Get a second job. Work Smoking House at night, the other job in the morning. Bring in money.
There you go.
And then hopefully take the fall NYPD test, FDNY, and then probably get into one of those.
Gotcha. So you want to be a police officer?
Yeah, that's always what I wanted to do as a kid. But
really,
my dad's retired. My dad's a retired cop.
Gotcha.
And as soon as I brought up you to him, he was like, "No, you don't want to do that."
He doesn't want you going in that path.
Well, I think he was kind of like joking.
Yeah.
At the time, but I took it serious.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, like I can't do it. But,
so is that why you want to become a cop, kind of to follow in your father's footsteps, or
Yeah, kind
A
of,
little bit.
kind of like that, and also like it would just fit me. You know what I mean? Like I'm able to
I could see
move.
that.
I'm able like I'm not really sitting still.
I could see it because you seem like a pretty
Yeah,
active, like a guy who doesn't like to sit still.
yeah. I'm not. I never went to the doctor or anything, but like I'm very like energetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in class, like it's
remember.
really hard for me to sit still.
Yeah. I remember like even with like in 8th grade, right? I was in
Yeah.
I think I was in social studies, right?
Home ec too.
And then home and careers.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
And
Social studies. Who was our teacher?
Miss Miller.
Wait, what she look like?
Tall.
Oh man.
It's okay if you don't remember. It's okay.
She was like younger. Oh yeah, I remember.
You remember that?
TJ Collins was in her class.
Oh man, dude, I mean now you really.
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
this. I remember,
you remember
this.
this.
Yeah, she did not like me.
Yeah, I think you guys. I think she did though.
Nah,
think,
she liked me.
She did. Like you guys had like a love-hate relationship because you bust her chops.
Yeah.
But she got a kick out of it because the rest of us were pretty quiet. So you were kind of like the.
Yeah, I would get the show started.
You did 9th period, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did get it started, and I will say you were very energetic, and you could tell like you just wanted to go nuts. I have to admit.
It was so hard for me to be forced to like sit down,
right?
and then like, but the other way around is like, all right, if you go to the doctor and like they'll tell you you have ADHD, jack you up on these meds that like kill your testosterone.
Yeah, like what? Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I have some interesting thoughts with the healthcare system. But
Do you want to? I mean, listen. If you want to share them, go for it. I'm not.
It's just you. Like, I think a lot of it's a money making thing.
Yeah.
A lot of it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? The doctors and all. I mean, it is a business, right?
The
medical
field. It's a huge. It is a business, but like the government treats it like a business more than anyone expects.
Yeah.
More than people think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, like someone found the cure of cancer and was killed like 2 days later. It's like almost, I don't know. Some people, I feel like the government may want like people to be sick, if that makes sense.
I get that because at the end of the day,
at the end of the day, keep coming back, money. Like
even with the medications, right? You gotta,
you
gotta pay for it somehow. The insurances and that, it's definitely a process,
like,
right?
Corona was like a cold, and we shut the whole economy down.
That was nuts
for years.
That was nuts. If you really think about it,
like it set the whole stock market back. Set the whole economy back.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I just think it's messed up. Like sometimes you don't need medication, but like you go to a doctor, they'll just prescribe it to you because like, so you take medication, you keep coming back.
Yeah. I think even with medication, you have to be so careful.
You have to
because there's side effects. There's everything you take. There's a reaction. Like even like you were saying, like ADHD, right? Like you might take something. And it might calm you down.
It's like horse tranquilizer.
But it could do something else. Like now it could affect you in another way.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to be careful.
Yep. It's just like, I low-key wish we could go back a little bit to when like the quality of food was like, look at Italy. Have you ever seen like clips of food in Italy? It is so natural. They cook everything so clean.
Yeah.
And they live in Italy. They live like almost everyone lives till they're 100.
Yeah.
And they eat pizza. They eat cannolis. They eat ice cream, like Italian ice cream.
Yeah.
They eat all that and they live till they're 100 because their food is clean.
Yeah.
There's no like
the chemicals. Right?
It's not. It's
preservatives.
Not,
I think
there's no preservatives. It's not like processed a million times. Like, I don't know.
It's hard in this. It's hard in this day and age because there's just so many options. You go to a supermarket or, the accessibility of fast food. It's just so easy to get. It's hard not
I
to.
fall victim to it.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you're out at 11 at night. You're starving.
Yeah.
You're starving. All the supermarkets are closed.
Yeah, they're all closed.
Everything's
so now
closed.
You can't.
You have nothing in your house. Taco Bell's open.
That's where you're probably gonna go.
That's how it starts,
right? And even with that, right? Even if you do have food, it's like, it's 11 o'clock. You're starving. Do you really want to cook something up?
Mm-hmm. No.
You don't.
No. That's why you got meal prep beforehand.
Yeah. Exactly. That's really I think the name of the game. Or just understand that. Like, just have a good schedule, have a good routine. Even with me, when it comes to like cooking, I like my meals to be fresh. I don't really like to meal prep too much in advance, just because it just doesn't taste as good. Because don't kid yourself, I enjoy food.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. I eat a lot.
Yeah.
I eat a lot. Definitely.
I just remember being in sports medicine. You and Eddie would just go nuts over the cookies. And I will say, they have Massapequa High School has some great cookies.
I forgot about that.
Dude, that was so funny. You guys would come in with just like, your bags of cookies.
2 bags. And there was like 3 in each.
3, but they were good. Oh man, they were so
like
good.
8 in the morning, we're pounding like 50 grams of sugar.
Oh man, I used to get a kick out of that, especially with Eddie. Sometimes I remember like
Eddie's hilarious.
He would bring stuff in, like I think he'd have like Twinkies with him, and he'd just be snacking away, And that class was, let me tell you, that was a fun class.
Oh, I remember. I have pictures still of Eddie taping my ankle.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I just remember. I have to say this story, right? So he gave us these like really these bulky packets. Like, I think it was like his slideshow presentation. He's like, I want you guys to take notes on these. And we're all doing our thing. And Shane, I just remember I don't know what you were doing, but you started ripping it up in the middle of it. And you're doing all, and because it must have been like maybe 20 pages, and he's just literally tearing it into shreds. And Mr. Soda walks over to him and takes the packet from him. Just doesn't say a word and just takes it from him. And I'm just like, whew.
I don't know what I was doing.
And what was really funny is like Mr. Soda is giving the presentation, and as he's giving, you can hear the paper because I think you guys started sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Right, for a period of time.
Yeah.
It was all over the place, right?
Yeah. So wherever you want.
But yeah, it was.
I don't know why I was ripping it up. I didn't take a single note in that class.
Yeah,
I got good grades though in that class.
Finished
I think I got like a 90 or something on my final.
Yeah.
I think I'm a good test taker. I just don't do like the busy, easy work.
Yeah.
Like I would rather take 3 tests than have to write 1 paper.
I get that.
Like I would, yeah. I'd rather take 3 100-question tests than write 1 5-page paper. Any day of the week.
Yeah, papers are, it is just finding the right words. Sometimes it can be very difficult.
So much time that goes into it. It's like, I don't have that time. I'd rather just go in,
take the test and leave.
Take the test, just leave. That's my thing.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Cause that, you bang out 40 minutes, whatever, an hour, however long it takes. But a paper, you have to actually sit down and sometimes I just can't focus, man. I just can't sit there and
it's so tough, especially with me. Like, I can't go home. Like, I'll go home, like, open up my computer, like, do work, and I don't know what it is. I just, like, I can't do it.
I feel the same
Like
way.
I'll get like so mad,
Yeah.
or not even mad. Like I'll just be like, are you kidding? Like I'll try to open up, do my homework. Oh, Wi-Fi isn't working. Fix my Wi-Fi. I go do it.
Yeah.
Oh, computer's dead. And like it's always something. And I'm just like, all right, I'm done. Like, you don't understand how many times it would be like, did you take Scout Comp?
I did.
Did you have the hobby?
No.
Oh. So Scout Comp, like,
Okay.
there's like a 8-page paper, dude. And it's due at like 11:59 on Turnitin. So you couldn't mess around.
Classic, yeah.
Couldn't mess around. It's like 10:40 and I'd started it.
I've had moments like that.
I remember I walked to
Yeah.
7-Eleven at like 10:40. I bought 2 Red Bulls. I go back, I chug them, and then I start hammering away, like typing like a bunch of like dumb. It was on some author that I never read.
Yep.
I just started like
Going nuts.
I started going crazy. I'm looking up like all bios. I'm looking up bios. I'm not copy and pasting it, but I'm writing based on that information.
You just rewrite.
It's so smart. Like, and teachers, like, there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not cheating. I'm just I see what they're saying. I'm like, that's a great idea. I'm gonna use that. So I'll type in totally different words and everything.
Yeah.
And like.
And you got it done.
I found out you only needed 8 pages. I finished at 11:57, 9.5 pages.
Unbelievable.
And then just over an hour.
I will say I've had moments like that myself where I don't know about 10:40, but 9:20.
Yeah.
I need to get maybe something happening, right? It's due 11:59.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it, right? And it actually. I don't like to procrastinate, but that's when I thrive. I thrive under the. It's almost like a football game, man.
Yeah.
Like, you thrive under the. Like, bro,
I want this pressure.
Let's get this, man.
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours, bro. I only need 1 hour,
Yeah,
and then I just the ideas start. Boom! I start pounding away at those keys before you know it.
But sometimes you gotta be careful.
You do, because sometimes you realize you know what, like 8 pages. You're like,
I got lucky.
Maybe you get 4 pages, but then you're like, bro, I don't know if I can crank out another 4 right now. I don't know. So you got to be careful. You do.
Do you want to hear a funny story about that?
Hit me.
So as I'm doing that, like,
okay.
my stomach drops because I drank swig 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
My stomach hurting. I brought my computer in the bathroom.
So now you're sitting there, right? You're trying to take a dump, and you're.
And I'm still.
And you're still going.
I'm still typing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. I submitted it in the bathroom.
Wow.
I got a good grade. I think I got like a 93 or.
Well, listen, bro, that's solid.
I don't know what it is. Like, there's just random shit I'm good at. Like, if it's important, I'm probably not good at it. If it's totally random, there's a shot I'm good at it.
Any examples?
Cooking.
You're a good cook.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your go-to anything?
I can cook a mean steak.
Really?
I love chicken cutlets.
Mm-hmm.
I cooked this like garlic aioli chicken.
How is it? Delicious?
Fire. Burger. They got like a homemade Chick-fil-A sauce.
Really?
Put on it. It's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's little weird things I'm good at. Like there's a lot of like dumb things I just know a lot about.
Yeah.
And like for some reason, I don't know. Like talk about the New York Jets, I can name every player on the roster.
Really?
Like I follow. I'm a huge.
Well, yeah.
But like it's like that's so pointless, and
you just know it.
I just know it. I don't know. Because whatever I'm interested in life, like I'm interested. Like I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a all or nothing thing. There is no
that's me.
like you can't just half-ass it, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, I love this. I'm all in. I'm all in. I love it. I'm gonna follow it.
That's me. There's nothing in my life, like for better or worse, that I half-ass. Like I'm all in, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, But
I think it's a good trait to have.
yeah, it is a good trade.
It's just, I guess, it's very obvious when you're not into something, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the drawback.
That's the drawback. That's why, like, with school, it was kind of a struggle for me, some classes. So it was like, I really don't want to be learning about bio. Really don't want to be learning about chemistry. But as soon as we got to anatomy, yo, I'm flying through it. Like, I'm so interested. I'm actually writing notes and stuff.
Yeah.
My grade was good in the class.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, geometry, and for some reason, I hated that.
Yeah.
But then algebra, I love solving for X.
You know what? I
always
felt
thought
the
that was
same
funny.
way. I'm like, you know what? This is gonna be interesting. Solve for
Yeah.
X. You know, because it's complicated but simple,
Yeah.
right? Because it's not like what used to piss me off were like the word problems, like real world, like this and it's like, well, Rich, if you read the wording here, this is why you did. I'm like, bro, like, come on,
Yeah.
stop with that.
Yeah.
But solve for X,
Solve for
bring
X.
it on, bring it on.
Dude, I'll solve for X and Z.
Yeah.
You kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
day.
that was awesome. Like, there's so many like classes I had to come back in.
Really?
Yeah.
Any in particular that you would just?
Geometry.
Okay.
Dude, I saw first quarter, I was like a 66.
Oof.
I finished with. Second quarter, I finished like 47.
Okay.
Let's do horrible.
Yeah. Wow.
Horrible.
And then
Third
how about
quarter? 96. I got a tutor. I started actually doing it in the homework and like locking in because like my parents don't agree. They're like, "Are you an idiot? Like, what are you doing? Come on!" I'm like, "Oh shit." So I locked in, got a tutor.
Wow, 96, and then
And fourth quarter, 99.
wow,
Passed the class. Passed the class.
that's awesome.
Didn't have to retake it. Got everything I needed. And yeah.
I think it just goes to show you, it was in you all along.
Yeah.
You just had to.
I needed to care.
Yeah.
I needed to care. But like, if I do care about something, like that, like we were just saying, like if I want to do something, like I'm gonna do it. But like, if I don't want to do it, like I'm not gonna bother.
Gotcha.
Good or bad thing.
Yeah.
It's like school though. Right now, I'm kind of at a weird point in my life. It's like I'm not playing football no more.
Yeah.
You know.
So you're not playing football in Nassau?
I could. I have it. I have the eligibility.
You want to?
But
honest.
I think I want to work.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. I just think in the long run, like it would be like best for me and my family. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like football isn't gonna last forever.
True.
So exciting.
Yeah. It definitely isn't. I mean, I can speak for myself as well. Like, it is an interesting. Like, we are in a very, I think,
Weird
a
time.
weird time. A very weird.
It's scary. It could be scary. Man.
Absolutely.
Like, there's been some things that like have happened to me and like my friends. It's like, wow, like we got to deal with this. It's no longer. We're no longer kids. Like, oh, don't worry, mommy, daddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't worry, like your family. Oh, like your teeth. Like, dude, you once you get to college, like, you are your own person. Like, so many like messed up things have happened because we're getting to that age where we're starting to see like for ourselves.
You've seen the reality of the world and how things work, and it's as simple as, you know, you have to make that choice. If you want something, you gotta make the choice. It's not, you know, I mean, you know, obviously you can ask your parents for advice, but they're not gonna tell you what to do.
It's all up to you.
Yeah.
It's all up to you.
And it can be a little bit, you know, it can be a little scary.
Yeah, it's definitely nerve wracking.
100%.
Definitely nerve wracking.
Yeah. But like I said, that's where God comes into play. Right?
Yeah.
Trusting and saying, you know what, I know I'm capable of making good decisions and doing what I think is best for me, and just trusting in that.
Yep.
It's just hard because we're not at that point where, you know, we're bringing in income and, you know, we're chilling. We're like, you know what,
we're in college and we're kind of working, but it's not.
It's nothing substantial though. It's nothing right? I mean, I know this is really down the line, but even like, providing for a family, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a, you know,
Total step up.
I mean, you want to talk about a commitment, right?
Finding a wife.
Oh, yeah. In this day and age, it's
Dude.
it's hard, man.
Trust me, I know.
Right?
One day.
Listen, I think it's people talk about finding a girlfriend. I think it's the girlfriend. Right?
Yeah.
I heard C-Bump say that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard. It's hard, but I think you just have to be patient, man. You gotta really look and see the right things.
Yep. And like that's such a good thing because like there have been like some girls are like they like whenever like I'm kind of into them, but then I'm like, oh wait, like I don't like they have some tendencies that's like that doesn't line up with like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
and it's
it was
about
like,
being aware of that and just being able to recognize it.
Yeah. So it's tough because then you're sitting there like empty-handed, like all alone. And you're thinking like, oh, why did I do that? But like there is a reason. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to like be alone. You know that's another thing too. I feel like a lot of people aren't all right like being alone for a little bit. You know, whether that's like
difficult.
whether that's like going out with friends. Like obviously hang out with friends.
Yeah, there's nothing
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But like some people like on Friday night if there's nothing to do, like they're shaking. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
I agree. I think I don't think there's anything wrong with just, chilling out or
you gotta be comfortable in your own body. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Not a lot of people are like fully okay with themselves. You know what I mean?
They think they have to prove themselves or
Yeah.
whatever, impress other people. I think that's a big thing.
That is like trying to prove your worth to someone else is just gonna be the thief of any joy you have in your life.
Absolutely. You got to nip that immediately.
No, like you
It's
gotta
like
just.
cancer.
It is. You gotta be yourself, and whoever likes you. Now you know that person's meant to be in your life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're yourself. You're not trying to be someone else. So you won't have that little thought in the back of your head. Will this person like me if they really knew who I was? You know what I mean?
Even with the girl situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not open and honest with the girl, she might think you're somebody who you're not, and then once she realizes who you really, she might, it might not work out. But at least if you're upfront about it, immediately it'll, maybe we're just not meant to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
So I think being yourself is really important.
So important.
Especially I feel like a lot of times people are trying to
Be someone else.
they're trying to be somebody they're not, instead of just, you know what, I think we all have quirks, right? We all have things, but you don't have to be so
uptight
about it.
And you know what sucks? It's like the people that like one-on-one, they're like great people. You know what I mean?
Like, I know exactly what you mean.
Dude, you're like, this person's awesome. Then as soon as they're around people,
they change.
They change
to like, somebody else.
It's like, why? You're thinking like, why? But for them, like fitting in.
I think it's an insecurity thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. Like, it's crazy.
I think in high school it's very bad.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Look, everyone's got the same haircut. Walk around high school.
Why is it? Is that really coincidence or come on?
Everyone's because they're told like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Kids are just trying to do whatever they can to fit in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the it's the truth. I mean, I think college is a little better where then you can really venture out a little more, but it's still the same. I mean, college is actually more similar to high school than I think people would think.
Very, very, very similar. It's just now instead of classes being in the same building, they're in different buildings. Yeah, it's the same thing, and classes are 10 minutes apart, not 4.
Yeah,
that's what
it's a little less structured, but it's still the same concept. Like I'll be in a class and I'll be like, this reminds me of high school.
Yeah.
So like it really.
Am I in 13th grade?
right? Like that's really how it feels.
Yeah, I feel you. That was like you. Did you have to take a first year seminar?
I did.
Yeah, that was really like okay.
Yeah, that felt like a class. It felt like a high school class.
Yeah, it felt like you had a point with your guidance counselor.
Yeah.
For me, that's how it was.
Yeah. But I think college I think it's what you make of it.
It is.
I really do. I think there's a lot of opportunities, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to go out and seek it. Like it's not just going to come to you.
Yeah. Like get into extracurriculars, network.
And like we meet new people. Like, there's so many
So
people.
many people, dude.
So many people.
There's so many people like that could change your life. You just don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just go out. What's the worst that could happen? Like, go talk to that girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Try.
Go say what's up to that dude that's in all your classes. Like, go say what's up. Like, go talk to that girl. You know, like life's too short to like live with.
And that's another thing I've thought about. Where, if you really think about it, it doesn't really make that much of an impact by going, even if you get rejected.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that happens? She says no.
Yeah, she says no.
That's what life goes on.
Okay, so you move on, right?
Yeah. You're
But
in the
if you
same
don't-
situation you were before.
Exactly.
Nothing
But
changes.
if you never try, you're never gonna know. Like you'll always have to live with. I wonder. I wonder what would happen if I.
Like I regret that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm so glad you brought that up, man.
Yeah.
Like I think it's so important. Like you live with no regrets.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
And I don't think you regret things you've tried. I think you regret things you didn't try.
I'd say that's the number one thing I live with like every day. I have no regrets. Like like whether that was like high school, like I did everything I could football because I loved it.
Yeah.
I have no regrets with how my senior year went.
Yeah.
No regrets. We didn't make it all the way, but like I'm so happy. Like I made like some of my like best friends still today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, like and even everything like college football. Like when I played, I have no regrets. Like I know I could do it now. You know what I mean? And it's just like now I'm making a decision for myself, and like I know it's gonna be right.
Exactly. And it's hard, right? Because I'm sure there's one side that says, I want to play football.
Yeah, it's like an identity crisis.
It is. Because let's football is it's a huge part of your life, right?
Huge.
And I think especially football players, I think that's such a big identity in their lives, because I see how, especially Massapequa, come on.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird, but I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Super excited. Yeah.
Moving on to new things, and it's obviously a little scary going into some unknown territory, but
you wanna know, like, I'm not nervous and I'm happy because I truly feel like I chose, like, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's not no longer like it's getting pushed down the stream. Oh yeah, do this, do this. Like I kind of like stop my foot down a little bit, like change directions. Like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
And I think it's important to stay positive in those situations where you don't know how things are going to turn out, but you just keep an open mind, a positive outlook, and
Everything
keep moving
happens
forward.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Excited. Super excited. You working this summer?
Yeah.
Where at?
I work at a PT office.
Oh,
I'm an
sports?
exercise park physical therapy. It's close. It's close to there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is that?
Good.
What do you do?
Good. I'm an aide, so I just help with like the heat and stim, and help people with the exercises.
That's awesome.
All that stuff.
It's all internship.
Well, I did one in high school, and now I actually work this.
Oh,
some
you
money,
make
so,
money,
yeah.
dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you want to do with your exercise science degree?
Think about being a physical therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think this place could potentially
Like employ me?
yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's I mean, we still got time for that, you know,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's nice to have a little bit of a path, right? A gear.
And now you see, now you're doing the internship, you see what it takes.
Yeah.
You know, okay, physical therapist, he's doing this, this is how the patient responded. You're seeing it for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
And I have to admit, it's different because I got PT done, right?
Yeah.
So it's different being the patient versus the worker. I have
Yeah.
to say, you see things that you didn't see when you were a patient.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very, very different. I'm happy I did it. You know,
Mhm.
I'm happy I'm doing it. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. But even then, you know, I have doubt. You know, I'm not sure if I really want to do it, right? Because
Yeah.
you know what the thing is? You know, even with having a job, right? Like doing the same thing
Over
and over. I feel like I would be the type of guy
Yes.
where I do it for a couple of years and then get bored of it. You know?
You're gonna get bored of it though. That's the thing. And that's any job.
I know. Yeah.
Any job. It's kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. That's why I think it's very important. You know what you pick, that it's something you enjoy to a certain extent, just because you're gonna be doing it so much that you might as well get some enjoyment out of it.
I got one more 3 semesters till I get my bachelor's in business.
3 more semesters? How's that possible?
College credits. High school.
Yes, me too.
A
Me too.
lot.
Me too. How much do you get?
Over 30.
Over 30. Wow.
Oh,
Really?
that's a whole year.
I got 20 something. So I'm in a good.
I'm so happy because I took the most cheesy college classes in high school.
Yeah.
I took the most cheesy ones, like baking.
You got college credit for baking?
College.
Get out of here!
College sports medicine.
I know. That was a nice one, man. We got that.
Cool.
That was good. That was a smart move. Mr. Sutter was right to get those credits.
Yeah.
That was a good move.
Spanish counted for 2.
Yes.
It counted for 2 classes,
Yeah.
2-3 credit classes.
Well, you know, you're supposed to take a language when you get to college, but
Mhm.
you don't have to if you do it in high school. So that was nice. Yeah, even for me, I could technically graduate in 3 years if I wanted to.
Yeah, so
I don't
2
know if
more
I
than
want
that,
to,
or not.
but I could. But it's nice to have that option.
Yeah, but the good part is you're able now to spread out some of your classes because you're going to take hard classes.
Yeah.
Now that you have some credits under your belt, you can spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, so your workload isn't I have anatomy test tomorrow and then another physiology test. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I got you. But that 3 semesters? I mean, that's really, it's less than 3 years.
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
And so next
And you're getting in business.
business.
So you changed from phys ed to business.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When did you make that change?
Sat down and thought okay, what do I wanna what do I really wanna do? And instead of being oh, I could do this, it was no, all right, I'm gonna get into one of either state trooper, state police, or FDNY, and then I'm getting a business degree. So when I get out and I'm out on pension and I'm bored, start up a restaurant.
Really?
Start up a restaurant.
You want to start up a restaurant?
Yeah.
Right after you get the degree, or
No, after I'm done with whatever public service job I pick.
Gotcha.
Whichever one accepts me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this would be much later on.
Yeah,
The restaurant.
the restaurant will be
Oh, man.
mid 40s,
Yeah.
50s, because that would be when I do my 20.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So
What type of? I mean, I don't know if you.
I hadn't really thought about it.
Listen, it's great to have ideas, right? Because that's where everything starts from. Everything starts from an idea, and you'd be shocked. I mean, That could definitely be a reality.
And like I met like just working in a restaurant, and also like I met some people that like could help me with it. You know what I mean?
And even, you would think, oh, like, why are you working at Smoking House? Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
That's the point, right? Because now
Yeah.
that experience, like, you might think, yeah, like, it doesn't really mean anything, but if you start a restaurant, that experience is going to help you because you understand how a restaurant operates.
Mm-hmm.
I've never worked at a restaurant, so if I had to start one, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show how all those, even the small jobs,
everything means something.
it gives you experience in
Mhm.
ways that you don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It really is. Really is. And I'll say with me, even with like physical therapy, right? I have to admit it's something I've been rethinking, right?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do it, right? Because it's also a lot of schooling.
A ton of school.
Right? And it's one of those things where you can't just half-ass and say, I want to be. It's like,
Yeah.
if you want to do it, you gotta
want
it, man. You gotta want it, and I don't know if I want it.
competitive.
It's competitive, yeah. But you know what? Even then, if I really wanted it, I think I'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I want it that bad, right? So then, it goes to, well, then what do I want, right?
Yeah.
And that's when it gets a little crazy. And
What's your second option?
what's my second option? It's funny you say that. I mean, this is something, no joke, I was just thinking about today. But I was thinking maybe a psychologist.
I can see that.
Right?
I can
Dude.
see that.
Change my major to psychology.
I can see that. You probably already took a few psych classes.
I did. I took it in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I got credit for it. But yeah, that might be. I was thinking about it today, and I'm like,
I
what?
think you could do it.
Like that might be a better option for me.
I took 2 psychology courses in college, one each semester.
Okay.
Super interesting.
Yeah, it's very intriguing. I have to say.
Super intriguing. I had the second semester. It was a group psychology.
Okay.
So it was about like working in a group and like all the little things that like you don't think about but like are prevalent. My teacher's horrible, but I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Learned a lot. Like that's another thing. College, like take classes that interest you.
Absolutely.
Like you pick your schedule, take what suits you and what interests you. Don't take like, and if you don't have to, don't make my mistake. Don't take a hard class if you don't have to.
Oh yeah.
Like why? Like
Why put yourself through that?
I didn't have to take bio that semester. I don't know why it put me in it. I didn't request or anything, but it put me in bio and I didn't have to take it. And like I was struggling with that.
Yeah.
Like do what you want to do and like I don't know. Take your major classes and then take whatever you want.
Yeah.
Take
Have fun with it. There's a lot of
so
many selections,
So much. Crazy, man.
It really is, huh?
Yeah.
I have to say, even with you, I mean, obviously we're the same age, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's been really cool to like even see you develop, man. Like seeing you in middle school. I mean, you were like this, I'm gonna say you were a little nutty, man. You were, a little all over the place, and now you're so, obviously I've matured a lot, but to see, I guess to actually see it, like how you've really
time flies.
matured, man, and it's. And who would have thought you'd be on my podcast? Like I never would have thought like this would have happened.
It's awesome. Dude, I watched a few episodes.
Yeah.
Vinny Santoro, man, what an episode.
Yeah, right. That was really something.
What an episode. Love Vinny, man.
Yeah.
Good dude. What's you up to the rest of summer? Any big plans?
Nothing in particular, man. Just working.
Just working.
Yeah. How about you?
Working.
Yeah.
Working. And I have a friend in Florida who I'm gonna try to visit
Okay.
sometime. So I'll probably do that, and then I really want to like spend time like with friends, like
Of
have
course,
fun,
yeah.
and work while everyone's home.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be staying home. Everyone's going away. It's gonna suck. But,
Yeah.
whatever.
Got you. Well, Shane, it's been a
All right,
pleasure,
man.
man.
Been a pleasure.